and welcome back to Top of the Line. I'm Ben Heltzer.
I'm Rocco Coppola.
And today we're going to be talking about a few things that happened during Week 9 of the NFL season, including rookie records, divisional rivalries, and our picks for Game of the Week. So let's get started. So I think, there was a lot of things that happened this week, but I think we have to talk about C.J. Stroud putting on an absolute show. He tied the rookie record for the most touchdowns by a quarterback, and he's the clear front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he'll get it. What are your thoughts on him so far?
I mean, C.J. Stroud's phenomenal. He was my top quarterback going into this draft, and I think it's going to pay off real dividends for the Texans, especially after the whole Deshaun Watson debacle. It's good to see that now they have another franchise quarterback on their hands. You love to see it, and it's not something to say that they can't make the playoffs. It's realistically possible. At 4-4, anything's possible.
Yeah, and I think Stroud can definitely lead them there, and he's been great so far. And I think Carolina is kicking themselves for not taking him first. Next, the Cowboys, Eagles. There's a heated rivalry there over in the East, and this game really delivered. What are your thoughts on this game and what it means for both teams moving forward?
I mean, the Cowboys just find different ways to blow every game. It seems like. This was a golden opportunity for them to have a chance to win the NFC East or have a better shot at it, rather, especially with the Eagles' schedule coming up. But you have the ball at the 6-yard line, 40 seconds left, and all of a sudden, on the last play of the game, you're at your own at the 30 with 2 seconds left. What are we doing here, Dak? You played phenomenally, but you choked when it mattered. What the Cowboys need to do is find that consistency that's needed. They could beat anybody in the league right now with that team and with that play. They had the game right there, and it's so funny to watch that team crumble, but it's really irritating. They're right there. They had it right there.
Yeah, and I think that's just been the story of the Cowboys so far this season and in past seasons. They just can't, win when it matters, and I think it's going to really hurt them, for the playoffs this season. And finally, there were a lot of good games this week, more than previous weeks, but what's your favorite? What was your pick for Game of the Week? What game really got you going this week?
I mean, the Cowboys and Eagles game, I think, was my game of the week. It had basically just about everything in it. Referees being terrible, Cowboys being the Cowboys, Eagles putting on a show. Fun game. I thought Dallas had it right there at the end, and I think just about everybody in America did. But Cowboys going to Cowboy. They find another way to blow it. And it looks like now, with the Giants coming up on Sunday with Tommy DeVito a quarterback, now that Daniel Jones is a torn ACL, yeah, prayers up, Giants fans.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that NFC East rivalry game was a fun one to watch. But I'm going to go with the other game that we just talked about, which was the Bucs-Texans game. I knew that game was going to be close. Both teams have been playing better than a lot of people thought they would, and it really delivered. C.J. Stroud going on that game-winning drive, and he showed up when it matters. He got the job done. I think it was a great game overall and a great win for Houston. So that's all we have. For today. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Andrew and Marco will talk about what happened in the Premier League. So stay right here.
Hello, I'm Rocco Baldino.
And I am Andrew Mirzaaghasi.
And we'll be covering the week's games in the Premier League.
So we're on week 11, and we're starting off with a banger. Manchester City versus Bournemouth, 6-1.
Yeah, you're loving it right now, 6-1.
Yeah, and I predicted 5-0.
Yeah, close enough. I mean, they just kept scoring over and over. I was watching the game, and just every time I hear the commentaries, just getting louder and louder with the more goals that come.
Yeah, Doku was especially on fire, giving out a goal, 2 assists that led to goals. It was incredible. Also with Silva with 2 goals as well, and Akanji as well. This was definitely a sweep for Manchester City.
Now we go to Newcastle versus Arsenal. I was listening to this game on the radio. I was hearing how the goal that Newcastle scored was controversial. Even after the game, Arsenal's coach was saying the goal was an absolute disgrace because the goal went to VAR after a lengthy review. Still, the goal stood.
Yeah, I heard that VAR had to be played multiple times of if the ball was in play or it was offsides. It was pretty controversial, I would say.
Yeah, because they had 3 things to look at: if the ball went out, offside, but the main thing was the push from behind, which VAR could have missed this one.
Yeah, probably. Since this is new technology with the offsides or if the ball was in or out of play. So we go to Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa, 2-0 with a surprisingly quick goal within 5 minutes by Enya.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Martinez made a mistake here with one of his saves. He made contact with the ball, but eventually rolled into the goal.
Yeah, that was sad to see, because I feel like he could have saved it to prevent it, but because the footage looked over and it passed the line of the goal. Unfortunately, he could have saved it.
Now we go to Liverpool versus Luton Town, 1-1. I feel like a goal was eventually going to come from them because they had a lot of possession in that game. They had their chances, but it would have been a really big upset if Luton Town won that game.
Yeah, it would be a big upset, especially when there was a 78% probability of Liverpool winning that game. It was like 0-0, and then the goals came in, then it became a tie. So I could say that game was a little bit boring.
It was close. It was a close game.
Yeah.
Now we go Man United versus Fulham, 1-0. Scoreless 0-0, and then finally in the 90th minute, Bruno Fernandes scores the winner.
Oh my God, this match was so boring that I almost fell asleep to it because nothing was happening. There was no goals at all. It went past halftime. I almost tried to turn it off, but then Fernandez came in, scored, and I was like, at least someone won this game and it wasn't a tie.
I feel like Man United got away with this game. Like I feel like it could have been a tie, but they came away with this game.
Yeah, they came away with this game. If it wasn't for Fernandez, it would probably just end up being 0-0 either way.
We now go to a rather weird-looking Manchester United fan to get his views on how his team is doing so far this season. I'm here with
Evan.
Don't care. So how you think Man United's going so far this season?
In my opinion, since last season, horrible. Just atrocious. Like scraping a 1-0 win against Fulham in the 90th minute is something that should never happen. We should be easily beating that team by 4 goals.
And you guys lost to Manchester City 3-0. So will you admit that Manchester's blue?
Historically, Manchester will never be blue. Right now, yes, because we are just atrocious. We can't do anything. Can't pass the ball straight. Can't do anything. Our keeper is atrocious. Our centre backs are non-existent, and we have 100,000 injuries. It's all over the place.
True. I mean, it could be worse. You could be like Chelsea, but I mean, you guys are still close. You're close to Chelsea, so you never know. Maybe Chelsea will pass you guys.
There was actually a point where that nearly happened.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we come up against Chelsea this season, I think it's an easy 2-0 win. Because by the time we'll have all our players back from injury, you guys are just sitting in a comfortable 10th place.
I don't believe you. Chelsea's going to beat Man United. You guys suck.
No, we don't. It's only this season. We have trust in Eric Ten Hag. That's it.
You have trust in Eric Ten Hag.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Probably been the best manager since Sir Alex Ferguson.
What about Jose Mourinho?
But Mourinho fell out with his players. Ten Hag has still kept the players on his side. They're not falling out with each other. Yes, there is some unsettled stuff in the dressing room, but that can all be overcome. And I think everyone, even all the fans, support Ten Hag because they've been through many different managers over the years since Sir Alex, and I feel like Ten Hag will probably be the one. Like first season, we won the Carabao Cup and got to the final of the FA Cup, but badly lost to City. But yeah.
Good for you, man. Are you happy? You a happy boy?
Right now, no. We should be beating these teams. Like even in the Champions League. Losing to Galatasaray is just embarrassing. I feel like it's just the worst.
No.
What?
I just don't like that you're a Man United fan.
So that's Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. All right, back to the recording room.
Now we have our standings. For our standings, we would have Manchester City with 27, Tottenham with 26 points, a tie for third, Liverpool and Arsenal for 24 points, and Aston Villa for 22 points.
So before we close out this episode, I just want to say, as of the recording, we are recording on a Monday before the Chelsea versus Tottenham game. So, do you have any predictions for this game?
I'm really hoping that Chelsea wins this game just because then Tottenham would be first and then Manchester City gets up. I'm really hoping that Chelsea would actually win the game. But something tells me in the back of my mind that Tottenham's going to win. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're begging for Chelsea to win, but I don't really have high hopes for Chelsea this game. But you never know what might happen. They might go all out, but it's a rival game. So you never know what might happen. But
yeah, as we could tell by these games, as you could tell, 2 of the top 5 of these teams lost. So anything can happen.
Yeah, you never know. That's all for today's episode on Top Line. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you in the next one.